last year at CES, we heard about a great idea on how to control heat in individual rooms, and now, Dip, you guys have taken it a step further. You're looking at whole house analytics, right?
That's right. So basically what we've been able to do is, in order to truly do our core value prop, which is comfort without compromise, right? We had to truly understand the house. And we've kind of done that over the last year. We've built a system that's reliable, it's being installed, it's working, and we've kind of been able to build the system in a way that gives us a really good understanding of the house. Now, the reason that's so important is because we understand the house so well, we've actually been able to see things like block ducts, leaky windows, bad insulation. We can tell if a room doesn't get enough movement of air. We can tell if rooms have mold risk, and all of these things, that can provide a tremendous amount of value in addition to the comfort. We've been able to tease out of this data. And so what we've basically unveiled here is our first, what we think is the home health report, what it's going to look like. And the concept is once you buy Ecovent, you can just run this home health report, and it's like running your credit score. It gives you like everything about the house, and tells you this is what you can do to make your house better. These are the rooms that need attention, If you do these things, this is what will happen to your house. And the beauty of this is it not only informs the homeowner what needs to get better about their home and where to put their attention, but it also allows their contractors and the people they bring into their house to do work to do a better job, right? Because now they have more data to aim them. When a contractor comes in, they can't tell if a duct between your living room and kitchen is blocked. But our system can, so we can tell them to go take a look at that duct. They can find the blockage and remove it.
You gave an example of how someone you were able to identify that you're having a loss of temperature in a certain duct, right?
Yeah, what had happened was we have a customer, and she actually had a big addition put into her home and had the whole HVAC redone, multi-zone, right? And it wasn't working right, so she bought Ecovent to put it in. And we put the system in, and the system just couldn't get that living room to the temperature she wanted. And we were racking our brain. This is early, in the beta stages, and we're like, what's going on here? So we manually started looking at this data, and it turned out one of the things our system can do is actually like map out how the ducting in your house works. It doesn't actually know where the vents are, but it can tell that these vents are all on the same line, right? And what we realized was the first vent on that duct was blowing air at the appropriate temperature, right, around 135 Fahrenheit. But that same duct line was putting out air in the living room, at 90 degrees. It was losing 35 degrees, 95 degrees, 35 to 40 degrees of heat through this duct. And what we could tell, that it wasn't a leaky duct because it wasn't changing humidity. There was no humidity mixing in. The air that was going in, it was the air that was coming out. So from that, we were also able to tell this was not a problem all the time. Only when it was very cold outside. And we had a horrible winter last year, if you recall, in Boston. They had like 140 inches of snow, right? And so it was so weird because if the outside temperature was less than like a 30-degree difference from the living room, it wouldn't be as bad because it wasn't cooling that air as much. But when it dropped colder, it was almost instant, right? And so we were able to show her, when the outside is colder, this one duct is losing a lot of energy. We don't know why, but that's what's going on. And she said, oh wow, I have a cathedral ceiling. They ran this duct in the ceiling and probably didn't insulate it. So now she knows if she gets that duct insulated, she'll save up to 150 watts of energy when that system is running in wintertime.
That's cool, and actually it's warm, and that's the point. Your system, and it really is a system, allows individual control of rooms, the heat and the cooling, right?
That's right, and that's that's really what we want to get to. We don't want to create this hyper complicated, lot of configuration system. What we want to do is have you guys put this in, and it figures everything out. All you got to do is tell us what temperatures you want in the room, and the system does everything else. And it's really, really hard to do that because every house is different. That you have no idea. Even like we've seen in homes that are exactly the same floor plan, right? They behave very differently because of the sun position, and also because of things like where the trees are, how that house is oriented relative to the sun, and then how the people live in it. I'm a mega dork, so I have this room, my office has like 4 desktop computers in it. redundant systems. You don't need that crap anymore. But that's 600 watts per computer of extra energy, right? No home builder can guesstimate that this room is going to have an extra 3 kilowatts of energy in it, And so what you got to do is allow a system that without people tinkering with it, setting things in it, it can just figure it out. And that's what we've done.
And so how do you see monetizing these new analytics that you're providing?
Well, we're not. It's going to be part of the system. It's going to be free. And, the idea is we want to create, if you think about cars, automobiles, right? When they first came out, they were crap. When I was younger, when I first started driving, if a car went over 100,000 miles, that was a big deal. Now, if it doesn't get to 200,000, it's a problem, right? Well, I started thinking about what made that happen, right? And in the early days, early days of cars, right? What ended up happening is they were braking, they added sensors. Because they added sensors, it broke less because people would say, oh my God, I have a check engine light. I better go to the mechanic. And the mechanic had the ability to understand what that trouble code was, right? Now, the OEMs, like Ford, they didn't charge more for the, well, maybe they did, but like really, you don't pay extra for the check engine light, right? But the reason it's so helpful is because everybody benefits, right? The person who drives a car gets a car that's more reliable, and basically if it's going to break, they can fix it before it's catastrophic. The mechanics can do their job a lot better, thus make more money and get better customer satisfaction. And the actual OEMs are the people making the cars, right? They make more money because people buy their cars because they're more reliable and easier to fix. And it's the same thing here. Once we start adding these value add, I don't want to charge you an extra couple bucks a month. I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's a lot, and I'll probably get in trouble for that. But the thing is, it's by creating a better ecosystem, everybody does better. Yeah. And that's what we got to go for.
Excellent. Well, you're on your way, and congratulations.
Thanks for seeing me again, man. Good to see you, bud. Yeah.